Let's go! Alan Greene out as Auburn's athletic director. Does this have anything to do with their current football team? And I believe it does. So obviously comment down below. Are you buying that Auburn is a lock to go under their win total? And is this truly the beginning of the end of the Bryan Harsin era? So first things first here, Alan Greene out. And I will say that I have had a really good encounter with Alan Greene before. I met him over a decade ago in, I believe it was a press box. It was some event, and he was one of the most impressive people I have ever encountered, right? He was an administrator at Ole Miss, and then he became the athletic director at Buffalo, and then he became one of the youngest athletic directors in the country. And I was not shocked when I saw him get the job at Buffalo, and I wasn't shocked at all when he got the job at Auburn. So, I lost contact with him. I spoke to him, just a few times over the years. And look, I don't know anything about what exactly he did at Auburn. I don't keep up with the day-to-day Auburn grind. The people that do, how big of a circus that job can actually be. And this is, once again, a very weird situation in which someone in a powerful position at Auburn just mysteriously kind of sort of faded away. And I knew Allen's contract was coming up in January, but don't forget that Derek Mason made a very bizarre lateral move to Oklahoma State after Jim Knowles left Oklahoma State to go be the defensive coordinator at Ohio State. So the thing is, there's a lot of people professionally trying to separate themselves from Auburn. Now, look, a lot of people, when they know their contract's not going to be renewed and things are running up, and there was a lot of rumors apparently surrounding Auburn and the potential departure of Alan Greene. Look, some people do step away early, but to do so close before the beginning of football season is very bizarre. And I want to include one very interesting tweet here from Ross Dellinger, who said, now all the people that are powerful surrounding Auburn will regain more control of the program. So that's the issue. And this is the issue at a lot of major universities, right? Where there's just too many hands in the cookie jar. And I think a good example of a university that has a lot of powerful boosters, is a very powerful brand in the SEC, has a rabid and loyal fan base who actually has a situation where they do a good job separating those people from the actual athletics. That's Arkansas, right? Where Hunter Yurachek has done a phenomenal job with the three coaches they have now. Sam Pittman, obviously Dave Van Horn, who was there prior to Yurachek, and of course Eric Musselman, who you can argue has been the best hire in any SEC sport at Arkansas with their basketball program. So it's very interesting when you allow an athletic director to, actually do his job, how much better your university is in that situation. The truth here is whether or not Alan Greene made the hire with Bryan Harsin. Harsin is the issue. I think he's in over his head. I think all this stuff that happened during the offseason is not doing him any favors. I think his coordinator hires, they were his guys per se that will help him this year. Don't really have that much Division I Power 5 coordinator experience, and coming from someone that has been a part of the LSU media grind and watch somebody just hire two guys with not much coordinator experience just for them to ultimately, all three of them, lose their job. Well, trust me, it doesn't work out all that well. So Bru McCoy gets cleared by Tennessee today, and what's really fascinating here is I'm not sure if he was going to be the number 2 behind Cedric Tillman anyway. So there is a lot of hype surrounding Bru McCoy coming over from USC. I won't get into the back and forth between why it took so long for him to get absolutely cleared for this first game, but I'm glad, kind of sort of, for my bold SEC prediction. You can see it in the top right corner of your screen. I kind of am really happy that he does get cleared, because Tennessee, for them to do what I expect them to do this year, they could use as many weapons as they possibly could on the outside. But for me, and maybe some Vol fans can help me out here, I feel Jalen Hyatt was going to be the second guy in this offense anyway, behind Cedric Tillman, who is the unquestioned number one weapon. So you do lose Jones to the Bears in the NFL draft, but still, I truly do believe in Jalen Hyatt having a big year this year for them, and Bru McCoy just kind of adds into what Tennessee wants to do, and I expect Tennessee to run a lot of 3 wide receiver, if not 4 wide receiver sets in that Josh Heupel offense. So big news right here for the Vols, but I'm also interested in seeing if this Jaden Hazelwood thing is going to work out here at Arkansas. Now, what's very fascinating is he and Bru McCoy are very similar. Former 5-star, huge, imposing, physical wide receiver prospects. And not only were they 5 stars, they were the upper tier of the 5-star. We're talking about national top 10 level recruits. Will either of them finally break out going from a non-SEC school to an SEC school? Hazelwood coming from Oklahoma to Arkansas, and now Bru McCoy coming from USC to Tennessee. I'm going to find this experiment to be very interesting, and we just did a deep dive on my – I didn't say that well at all. On my other channel, Power Hour LSU, my full-time job, we just did a deep dive on this, and it is insane how high of a rate top 100 wide receivers actually hit. In fact, if you factor in off-the-field stuff that has affected other 5-star receivers, the number of 5-star or just top 100 receivers that hit is extremely high. So it's going to be hard for Bru McCoy and Jaden Hazelwood to not actually be really good players, because they do go into systems that do feature really good quarterbacks, really good play callers. So if it's not going to work at Arkansas or Tennessee, it was not destined to be. And the last story I want to talk about is, well, we don't have a quarterback yet at Ole Miss. Is it going to actually be Jaxson Dart? We haven't seen Lane Kiffin name a starter just yet. Will it be the Altmyer kid who comes back from last year, had that really good experience stepping in the Sugar Bowl? Will he actually be the guy? I don't know. I don't know where Lane is going to go with this. We all know Lane could be Lane, right? He's going to pick the quarterback that he feels most comfortable running his offense. And keep in mind that, yes, Lane Kiffin is the system, but he does lose Jeff Lebby. So this is a little interesting considering Lane is working with a new play caller this year. And him and Jeff Lebby did have a lot of success running the offense with Matt Corral. So for me, I feel as if they will roll with Jaxson Dart, but I don't know. I just found that to be very interesting that they have not yet named a quarterback. Boom! I'm looking at you. Yes, you right now, okay? So what do you think of today's video? Bru McCoy or Jaden Hazelwood? Who will have the bigger 5-star emergence this year in the SEC? We obviously talked a lot about Allen Greene. I thought that if you go back, that CFB Nerds thing where they said that he was looking for another job while on the job at Auburn, I mean, it shows you how toxic Auburn could be. Once again, I don't know all the details there, but it is very fascinating. I mean, that should be a destination job, a job where you can win a football national championship, but you don't know what's going to happen next. Maybe they get another one of these guys. I couldn't believe it. I was going through my closet. I had forgotten that somebody had sent me a Cam Newton jersey before. So what I'll do is, if you are an Auburn fan, I know you probably didn't like a lot what I said in this video. Comment down below, and boom, I'm actually just going to give this out to anybody that comments below this video today. And once again, I'm just the SEC general guy. I'm sure Auburn fans that watch this know way more about the day-to-day workings of your program. So please enlighten me if I was wrong on any of this. This was just my total read on the situation. Man, I don't know. But yeah, let me know for you Auburn fans that may know more about this than I do. And I know, especially looking at your quarterback room right now, I know there's not a whole lot of hope going into this year. But you do start the year off with 5 home games. It is very interesting. So comment down below your thoughts on today's video. It is Power Hour SEC Bomb. And tonight, some chicken quesadillas. Let's